Alita: Battle Angel, released on January 31st, 2019, had a production budget of $200 million and has generated almost $405 million in global box office revenue. Here is a summary of the main plot of the movie. Please stay tuned.
Go easy on me, guys.
In the year 2563, 300 years after the catastrophic war known as the Fall devastated Earth, scientist Dr. Dyson Ido finds a disembodied female cyborg with an intact human brain while scavenging for parts in Iron City's massive scrapyard. Ido gives the cyborg a new body and names her Alita, after his late daughter. Alita awakens with no memory of her past and quickly becomes friends with Hugo, a young man who dreams of moving to the affluent sky city of Salem. She also encounters Dr. Chirin, Ido's estranged ex-wife. Hugo introduces Alita to Motorball, a rollerball-like sport played by cyborg gladiators. Secretly, Hugo steals cyborg parts for Vector, the owner of the Motorball tournament and the de facto ruler of the factory, Iron City's governing authority. One night, Alita follows Ida, and they are ambushed by a gang of cyborg serial killers led by Gruishka. Ido is injured, and Alita instinctively fights using Panzerkunst, a lost combat art for machine bodies. She kills two cyborgs and damages Gruishka, who retreats. Ido reveals that he is a hunter-warrior, a bounty hunter hired by the factory. Gruishka seeks help from Dr. Chirin, who works for Vector. Although Alita believes that fighting will help her rediscover her past, Ido discourages her from becoming a hunter-warrior. Alita finds an advanced cyborg body in a crashed spaceship outside the city. Recognizing the body belonged to a berserker, deadly shock troops of the United Republic of Mars, URM, from the Fall, of which Alita was a member, Ido refuses to install her in it. Frustrated, Alita registers as a hunter-warrior. At the Kansas bar, she and Hugo fail to recruit other hunter-warriors to help take down Gruishka. Zappin, a cyborg hunter-warrior bully, provokes Alita, and she severely beats him in a fight, triggering a chaotic bar brawl until Ido intervenes. Suddenly, an upgraded Gruishka appears and challenges Alita to a duel, revealing that he has been sent by Zalem's technocrat overlord, Nova, to destroy her. Despite her combat skills, Alita's body is damaged by Gruishka before Ido, Hugo, and hunter-warrior Dogmaster McTeague arrive and force Gruishka to retreat. Ido apologizes and transplants Alita into the berserker body. Falling in love with Hugo, Alita joins a motorball tryout race to win prize money for his journey to Salem. Hugo's relationship with Alita makes him decide to leave his criminal activities. Confronting his partner Tanji, Zapan appears, kills Tanji, and frames Hugo for another cyborg's murder. Hugo barely escapes and calls Alita for help. She abandons the race and finds Hugo as Zapan arrives. Zapan mortally wounds Hugo. Dr. Chirin, reconsidering her alliance with Vector, offers to save Hugo by attaching his severed head to Alita's life support system. When Zapan realizes the trick and tries to intervene, Alita grabs his prized Damascus blade and disfigures him. Ido transplants Hugo's head onto a cyborg body and tells Alita that Vector's offer to help Hugo reach Salem was a lie. As an exiled citizen of Salem, Ido is certain that citizens of Iron City cannot enter Salem without becoming a motorball champion. Alita storms the factory and confronts Vector, who reveals that Chirin has been taken for her organs. Vector summons Gruishka, but Alita's new nanotech body allows her to easily defeat him. She forces Nova to speak to her through Vector. When Nova threatens her friends, Alita disables Vector. Ido contacts Alita to inform her that Hugo has fled and is scaling a cargo tube towards Salem. Alita catches up to him and earnestly pleads for him to return with her. He reluctantly agrees, but a serrated defense ring dropped by Nova slices through his body, causing him to plummet from the tube. Alita manages to catch him, but struggles in vain to pull him up. In his final moments, Hugo expresses gratitude to Alita for her efforts before tragically falling to his death. Months later, Alita has risen as a star in the motorball tournament, cheered on by an enthusiastic crowd. With determination etched on her face, she raises her plasma-charged sword defiantly towards Salem. Above, Nova watches with a smug smirk. Here are some objective reviews and strong emotional reactions after watching this movie. Screenplay co-written and adapted by James Cameron, creator of Avatar, and Robert Rodriguez, creator of Sin City. Alita is a deep film that explores themes such as female empowerment, personal growth, sacrifice, and loss. The world building in Alita is wonderfully imagined and incredibly beautiful. In 3D, Alita looks amazing. She's vibrant and full of life, with natural-looking skin. Some critics have voiced concerns about Alita's eyes, but they miss the point that Alita isn't human. Battle Angel draws inspiration from other sci-fi stories, which is expected given its origins as a 20-year-old graphic novel series. However, like its cousin Avatar, Alita manages to carve out an intriguing new world that mirrors its protagonist in many ways. The film has faced criticism for Alita's portrayal, with some arguing she is overly sexualized. However, these critics may have misunderstood the film's intentions or not seen it at all. Without spoiling anything, criticizing Alita for her appearance, such as her small waist and big eyes, is akin to complaining about the Terminator setting unrealistic standards for men. They're not human characters. While I personally enjoyed Alita, I feel it could have been even better if it had been split into two films. There's so much happening that at times, some scenes can feel insignificant upon reflection, and some moving moments get lost in the grand scope of the story. Some parts also feel rushed. Overall, Alita is a good film that I loved. Visually stunning, it's a must-see for sci-fi enthusiasts, fans of Avatar, or anyone who appreciates cinema. Watching it in IMAX 3D, or at least 3D, enhances the experience. Like Avatar, this isn't just any 3D. It's James Cameron 3D, crafted specifically for the format. This movie was an absolute joy to watch and captured so much of what makes a great character-driven action movie. Alita is visually mesmerizing and seamless. The CGI is as good as anything you've ever seen. What's more impressive, though, is not the realness of it, but how well they capture facial movements. Alita looks alive. She isn't lost in the uncanny valley. She emotes. She pulls you in and allows the full suspension of disbelief. She demands that you see her as real, despite the glaringly obvious unreal elements about her. The action sequences are executed so well that they never feel like jittery clutter. Despite the incredible amount of movement and sheer number of things in non-parallel motion, the imagery remains coherent. The actors fulfill their roles without making giant waves, and the story is clearly derived from a comic book style, but manages to avoid being derivative. Alita is a character who is both extremely powerful and yet fragile at the same time, reminiscent of Lilu in The Fifth Element. She is portrayed as real, making it easy to cheer for her and feel for her. If you enjoy sci-fi action with spectacular visuals and extraordinary characters, then this is the movie for you. It sounds like Alita Battle Angel left a mixed impression on you, leaning towards being more geared for a younger audience. The adaptation of Japanese manga and anime into live action seemed to translate well in terms of bringing Alita to life as a superheroic warrior. However, her distinctive doll-like eyes were a bit distracting for you, prompting thoughts about why her appearance was designed that way. Alita's backstory involves her being salvaged and rebuilt by Dr. Dyson Ido in a futuristic setting, equipped with formidable combat skills from the lost art of Panzerkunst. Her journey to uncover her memories unfolds amidst intense fight sequences, where she surprisingly overcomes powerful adversaries despite her size and youth. The film also incorporates elements reminiscent of Rollerball, renamed as Motorball, which sets the stage for potential sequels as Alita progresses through competitive leagues. Overall, while acknowledging its appeal to younger audiences with its action-packed narrative and futuristic themes, you felt the storyline sometimes favored convenience over deeper character development and narrative complexity. This is the story of a female cyborg named Alita, discovered in a dilapidated state in a futuristic city's junkyard by a robotics specialist. The doctor reconstructs her, she awakens, and the film follows her journey of discovering her new existence. Now, the positives and negatives. On the positive side, this was a remarkable movie with breathtaking special effects. Directed by Robert Rodriguez and produced by James Cameron, who provided Rodriguez with the technology he used in Avatar, the film clearly benefits from their expertise. There are CGI films, and then there's Alita, which surpasses many recent films in both quality and style. This level of cinematic achievement would have been unthinkable 20 years ago. However, on the negative side, while the film excels in visual spectacle and establishes a vibrant, intriguing world that begs for further exploration, its narrative falls short. Rodriguez meticulously crafts the world, yet he neglects to invest the same level of detail into developing Alita's character. By the abrupt conclusion of the film, audiences are left with numerous unanswered questions about her origins, creators, purpose, and more. Throughout the story, fragments of information are provided, but a clear, cohesive explanation is lacking. The same ambiguity extends to the antagonists of the film. Their roles and motivations, including Jennifer Connelly's character, remain unclear until the final moments. The film concludes without a definitive resolution to its narrative because the storyline lacks coherence. While Alita engages in battles with various cyborgs, she never confronts her true nemesis, resulting in 2 hours focused on her self-discovery and testing her capabilities against random opponents. One additional observation. The decision to endow Alita with large anime-style eyes, reminiscent of the manga and anime from which the film originates, makes sense artistically. However, making her the sole character with this feature creates an odd contrast with the other characters in the film. Are we to accept her appearance as normal within this world, or is her uniqueness acknowledged by others? If the eyes are an homage to the anime manga roots, why aren't other characters similarly styled? In summary, Alita. Battle Angel impresses with its technical prowess and visual grandeur, but falls short in delivering a cohesive and fully developed narrative, leaving much to be desired in terms of character depth and storytelling clarity. Since Titanic and Avatar, I've stopped expecting Cameron movies to be great, but after seeing a Alita Battle Angel in 3D IMAX the other day, let's just say he and Robert Rodriguez won me over again. Alita is the best big sci-fi action movie I've seen in a long time. In an age where we're inundated with recycled plots and soulless superheroes, I thoroughly enjoyed this film. It wasn't perfect, but it pleasantly surprised me. I could have sat in that cinema for another couple of hours without getting bored. It's been ages since I got so completely lost in a big effects movie like this. While I knew of Battle Angel Alita, I'm not a huge anime fan and hadn't read or watched the original anime, so I went in without preconceptions. Many of the plot themes and ideas may have been done before, cough Rollerball among others, cough. But that's true of most movies. The real test is whether those ideas are wrapped in a captivating story with compelling characters, and in Alita's case, the answer is a resounding yes.
Thanks.
Rosa Salazar shines as Alita. The emotional depth she conveys through motion capture is remarkable. Thank you for watching this video with me. Remember to subscribe to the channel for more great videos like this. Goodbye.